Yeah, those are just my criteria. Cigarette smoking, I don't want to deal with that because it's just not for me. Just like the single moms. Single moms, for me, definitely not. Unless I had a kid of my own, I probably wouldn't even look in that direction. No, excuse me. And yeah, we both have a list like that. Like if she's got a really big following on social media and she's not promoting a product or something like that, that's a red flag for me as well. I'll be like, maybe not, because she's the product, right? That's the thing.
Fatty with a fatty.
Fatty with a fatty, man. So, there's just certain things you look out for when it comes to relationships. And so I completely agree in that respect.
Someone actually had they were a bit confused when I told them this. I actually mentioned as it stands right now in terms of like if I had to like prioritize what types of women I'd be going for, Asian women or specifically Chinese women would not be very high on the list.
Really racist.
Yeah, exactly. And then they were like, wait, how did and they said that someone actually asked me this, and I'll get into this a little bit because it's an interesting thing. You might find it interesting too. Asians that don't want to date other Asians.
Right. Are you identifying as Asian?
For the conversation, yes.
All right, cool.
Having Asian heritage and being and not wanting to, like they said, this has been the true for myself, but also like other Asian people they've come across in the U.S. that don't want to date other Asians.
Yeah.
They were like, why is this? Like, I think it was mainly men they were talking about, but it's like, why is this? And I said, well, I said, for me personally, while Asian women I find attractive, I don't find them to be good relationship material.
Right. How would you know? Are you basing this off immediate family?
My experience with knowing like Taiwanese women when I was in Taiwan, just coming across like people I've talked to, classmates and all this, and also just the perception I've gotten from Asian, like I'm saying Asian, Chinese women in general is very passive.
Right.
You either have the very passive,
right,
or like the full blown tiger mom type of thing going on, and it's just like, no, like I found the diversity within like the diversity of like personalities within like white women tends to be more ideal. Like you kind of go through different types. Whereas the Asian women, it's like there's so many stereotypes, and there's that are kind of like overrepresented.
Right.
So, I mean, granted, that could totally change as time goes by.
So, are you attracted to Black women?
Very specific types of looks, like not as a like that's even lower.
That's even lower than Asian women? Racist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Brian is asking about OkCupid and their cross-race dating. I think what was it? Asian men and Black women are the two
at the bottom of the totem pole.
Basically the least desirable by statistics.
Yes.
I saw also the thing, I retweeted this on Tinder. They did a study. Women only chose 4% of all matches, whereas men they would only swipe right on 4% of all the men.
Yeah.
Whereas men would only swipe right on like 60% of the women.
Yeah.
Showing that women are very selective.
Very picky. Very, very picky.
They even adjusted for like different types of degrees, like men with like masters versus like bachelors and stuff. That didn't really change too much.
No. A lot of it is all of it is 6 foot. Everything is you got to be 6 foot, and that already is such a minority of the population. They're basically selecting out of, very small minority, right? So
they want 6 foot or more, but do they want 7 feet or more? See,
that might be some women do, but generally it starts at 6 feet. Like the women.
Once you get past 6'4", 6'5", you start having you start having life expectancy problems too.
Yeah, I don't suspect they're looking for that extreme, but like the group that I'm in with the 3 other girls, which is it's a fucking dumpster fire. They do like these Tinder games and shit like that, where the 3 of them try to match the same guy, and then they try to see like who could shit him up or sleep with him first or whatever the fuck it is.
Wow.
And it's just a complete dumpster fire. And all of them, I believe, set their criteria at 6 foot. And I was like, okay, that's already a minority of the population. Good luck with that. Not that you find quality people on Tinder to begin with, and they're all complaining that, well, why these people just want to sleep with me? And it's like, no shit, woman. Like, what did you really expect?
Exactly.
But yeah, that is the thing. Women, and I did a video about this on my YouTube channel about the aspects of feminism, basically preaching that every woman is a goddess. They think they're so much higher in the sexual marketplace than they actually are. And they end up going for like nothing less than fucking Thor out of the Avengers. You know, they want a Norse god who's like royalty, 6 foot, packed with, 12 abs and like a fortune behind him. Every fucking woman is trying to do that, which is why Dan Bilzerian never has like a crew less than 8 girls following him. But this is what they all want. Well, I can't say all. The majority of them are looking
80%.
Yeah, about 80% are looking for that.
Again, 80-20 rule.
Which is why the men at the very top of this echelon are living like fucking kings. Because they just have their pick of the litter. Right? They just, it's like, and this is what I come back and I tell these women, right? Especially in this dumpster fire that I'm in. They're like, oh my God, this guy just wants to sleep with me and whatever. And I said, yeah, probably. And he's probably doing that to like a few other women as well. Because you haven't earned anything else. You haven't earned monogamy. You haven't earned a relationship. Like, what makes you different from the 24-year-old that he's banging as well, that has less baggage and no kids?
We've got Brian here in the chat basically saying, what else can they bring to the table beyond just sex?
Yeah, which is the point I just raised.
That is the thing. Yeah, it's like, great sex is good sex. But, I mean, if you have nothing beyond that, then you're just sex.
Which is exactly what all these guys realize. And this is what even I tell guys this. If you want to meet somebody, meet them in person. If you're on a dating app, the women there have issues, because if they were quality women, they'd probably be in a relationship already. And it's the same thing for the men. The men that are there are not looking for anything serious. They're looking to fuck, right? It's just straight up.
Incentives drive the market.
Correct. That's what it comes down to. So all these women that go on these apps and I'm looking for a serious relationship. Yeah, you're tired of the cock carousel. You're tired of people using you out. You've had like 10 miles of cock run through you, and now you want to settle down. But why would I choose you when you're about to, turn 40, when I got this 24-year-old who's, is ripe and doesn't have all of those issues, like
fresh out of college.
Yeah, why am I choosing to invest in you? Maybe not.
Yeah, there is a list of criteria that these men will go through. Maybe not, some maybe more consciously than others, but I mean, like, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, if you're like a 35-year-old guy, which is pretty ideal, you got your shit together, you've got some money in the bank, and you pretty much have the pick.
Yeah.
You go in there and you find these women, you find that 24-year-old woman that just got out of college or got her master's, and she's looking to get a job. She doesn't have, she's not expecting you to just completely just, pick up all her debt, or she still has things she wants to do. Like I try to kind of look at the balance of the two for me personally. People think I want this like woman that's just going to be, nothing but an apron, barefoot in the kitchen, pregnant with a bunch of kids. It's like,
sounds great.
Well, that does sound appealing to a point. It's like, yeah, it's like, well, I want someone that's like, okay, so I'm living with someone who probably has a degree, who is like working. Like, you wouldn't mind like if you like married someone who also works like a full-time job or at least a part-time job, right?
Yeah, probably. Like, that's another thing. I don't want a career woman, like doctors, lawyers,
right? But you wouldn't mind if she's like, maybe she holds some sort of manager type of position.
Yeah, administration. I dated a journalist. Those kind. I don't want a career woman. A woman that has, she's invested so many years in like her PhD, and she's like a doctor on call 24 hours a day, and saving lives all the time. No. I don't have time for that.
So you'd want her to be like, what's her name? Rick and Morty's mom, the horse surgeon.
Oh, right. No, I wouldn't. Vets, definitely not. Definitely not vets. Maybe a nurse preschool teachers, yes, maybe. Yeah, so I have a list of things. As long as it's yeah, as
Could
long
be a
as
real surgeon.
yeah, exactly. It's like, no, I don't want to go down those routes. It's just because you're competing with her career.
Correct.
Right? That's never any fun.
It's one thing if she has a career, it's one thing if she's like actively going after it though. Like if she's, and that's the thing, it's like you don't want, yeah, I think that's kind of the bad, I guess the bad rap that people get kind of from the red pills. Like we all just want these like submissive women, like purely just completely submissive, you know. I mean, like 2 steps away from putting a little leash around her neck and walking her around the house.
Which I've done.
I don't want to know. No, tell me afterwards. Yeah, all the stories that we don't talk about on the show.
Yeah.